So a lot of us have trouble with hormone balance and we don't even know it. When we're having, okay, thank you for that, better, okay. When we're having challenges with hair growth at the top of our head, this is that dreaded hormonal zone. From the top of the vertex to the front of the hairline, from the top of the eyebrows up, and from the top of the vertex to the front of the forehead, this is the area that hormones have the most sway and the most influence on the scalp. So what I want to let you know is when you're having challenges with your hair thinning on the top of your scalp, whether you're going through female pattern hair loss, male pattern hair loss, if you're just going through a period where you just got on medication and now the top of your head is see-through and you can basically hold your hair up and see the whole outline of your scalp, you are probably going through some issues that are affecting your hormones. Now I'm going to go over a couple hormones and kind of put everything into perspective. And let me see if I can see this here. Okay, nobody said anything. I just want to make sure. Okay, if you guys have any questions, you let me know. Insulin. Insulin is a hormone that when you eat food, when you take something into your body, I'm going to address two ways how insulin really affects us. When we eat food, our blood sugar then rises to create energy because calories are energy. When we eat food, our blood sugar will rise. This is what happens. Because we're eating calorie-laden, sugary-laden foods that have a lot of sugar, a lot of processing, our insulin levels will subsequently rise. So no matter what it is that we eat, blood sugar is going to go up, insulin is going to go up because the insulin now has to force that sugar into the cells, into the brain, into the muscle so that we can use it. That's just how the body works. We can't get away from it. Unless we fast all day, we're going to create blood sugar levels that rise. Insulin is going to rise and force it into the cells. However, what happens is when we're eating processed food with a lot of sugar, we're drinking things like mocha lattes that are this tall. We're eating a whole lot of processed foods that break down into sugar very quickly. Simple carbohydrates as opposed to complex carbohydrates that take time. Those plant proteins take time to break down in the body and keep blood sugar stable. Because we're eating a lot of processed foods that are not good for the body, what happens is our insulin levels are too high for too long, and they wind up giving us issues like this right here. All of these issues here come from having high levels of insulin. However, when we're eating at 8 or 9 in the morning, 7 or 8 in the morning. We're drinking coffees, lattes, sugar. We're snacking all day. Then by the time our blood sugar goes up, our insulin goes up, then we're eating again. So it's a lot for the body to have to deal with. So we have a lot of floating insulin in the body all the time. Americans usually do not exercise a lot because when we exercise also helps to keep insulin and insulin resistance and insulin levels at bay by drawing blood sugar into the muscles to be burnt off as fuel. So that's why we develop a lot of lactic acid in our muscles because of the sugar breakdown. So I'm not going to digress. But what happens is we have too much floating insulin in the body for too long, too often, all the time, which gives us problems like this. Problems with excess hair, problems with having menstrual cycles and periods for 3 or 4 weeks and we're bleeding, having high amounts of liver fat, high cholesterol, problems with PCOS, problems with dermatitis, problems with yeast infections, problems with dandruff. All of that comes from the quality of the food that we're eating and the fact that our blood sugar is too high for too long all the time. So that gives us problems with our insulin levels. Another thing that happens is we have a lot of the world. Everyone that I talk to has an issue with their thyroid. Oh, I'm hyperthyroid. I'm hypothyroid. I have hyperthyroidism. I'm hypothyroid. Everyone is having a problem with their thyroid. What we have to do is understand how our diet affects the thyroid. So we have to make sure that what we're putting into the body is conducive to helping the thyroid. Things like having, because TikTok will ding me if I put this on here. I'm not advertising a particular product. When we have things like greens, super greens, some blood types can have greens products because it will help keep the liver detoxified, and it helps give you a certain amount of selenium, magnesium, and it's giving you what you need to help keep your thyroid balanced. But because we eat so much processed food, and I put things up like this, we're eating things in a box and in a bag. It's ultra processed. We're eating things like this. And when you turn it around, it's got about 15 different ingredients. All of those ingredients, the salt, the sugar, the food colorings, all of that influences how well our insulin performs and our thyroid performs. So when we're not eating foods that are conducive to having good level hormones, we're going to have problems like excess androgens and high amounts of PCOS and superfluous hair and hair growing in the wrong places, all on our chest and all on our face, producing excessive acne because of the food that we're eating, and it's affecting our hormones. So that's why I have diet here. We have to take into account that what we put into our mouths affects how well our body's going to perform. So I'm going to open this up for questions. If you guys have any questions, let me know, because I'm really just trying to help people understand why they're losing their hair. 9 times out of 10, it's not that Dominican blow dry. It's not what you did 10 years ago. It's you. It's the quality of your life. And you have to analyze what it is that you're giving your body, what it is that you're doing that is creating the situation that you have. So, diet. If you guys want to continue eating foods like Chick-fil-A, if I go to Chick-fil-A now, I don't eat their chicken. All I have is maybe the kale salad, and every once in a while I may get some French fries. But even the French fries aren't that great because you're eating trans fat. Trans fat foods are not good to help you with your blood pressure. If you already have high blood pressure, you already have diabetes, eating trans fat fried foods are definitely not your friend. If I go to Chick-fil-A now, all I'm having is a kale salad. I'm sorry. It has nuts on it. I'm getting my protein. I'm getting my greens. That's all I'm going to eat. I'm not eating the rest of the food that they have to offer. That's just me. And that's not to say you guys need to stay away from it, but it's just how much of it are you going to eat? When my clients come in for trichology exams, I have them give me a minimum of 2 weeks of their diet. So I'm analyzing everything that they're putting into their body. I already know what kind of oil they use at McDonald's, at Chick-fil-A, at KFC. I need to see what it is that you're eating. I need to see all the processed foods. I need to see the sugar, the fat, the ketchup, the sauces, the gravies, the sodas. I need everything. I want to see what it is that you're eating, because when I see the sugar, the fat, the ketchup, the sauces, the gravies, the sodas, I need everything. I want to see what it is that you're eating, because when I see my clients analyze it, because if you continue eating this type of food, you're not going to have great hair. You're just not. So I see that I'm reconnecting, that I'm probably going in and out here on YouTube. Let me see if I can put on my Wi-Fi. Oh, I am on Wi-Fi. Let me see if I can take it off. Then maybe it's not working that great. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, YouTube. So I'm limited. You know, T-Mobile got me in a chokehold because when I was with Verizon, I didn't have these problems. Now I'm with T-Mobile and my connections suck. And I'm sorry. So your diet, that's why I have this arrow here. We have to watch the processed food that we're eating. Anything that's in a box, in a bag, it's pre-made, or if you get it out of a drive-through window and you didn't prepare it yourself, it's probably processed. So foods like Chick-fil-A, for the long haul, for the long term, are not your friend. If you're eating pre-prepared food at work, if you're stopping off to grab something because you didn't want to take the extra time to make it at home, 9 times out of 10 it's processed. It probably has bioengineered ingredients. I can flip everything over these days. Everything is made with bioengineered ingredients. Most of those bioengineered ingredients affect the liver over time and are sprayed with glyphosates, and they're loaded with sugar. When you're eating a lot of these types of foods, we're going to affect our hormones and our insulin levels, and we're going to get all this, And that's why we have the disturbance on the top of our head and the hormonal disturbance. So yes, Vivian, you said grow again. Let me know what you mean by that when you said grow again. So I'm going to keep moving on. So we went over hormones. Our hormones are doing the delicate dance with us 24 hours a day. It's reviewing what's going on in the blood. Our blood is connected to capillaries in the blood supply. Our hair is connected to the blood. The hormones are running through the blood all day long to see how do we need to balance her out today. Are her stress hormones too high? Is her insulin level too high? What do we need to do to make sure that her pituitary, her hypothalamus, her thyroid, and all of the endocrine glands, her female glands, male's anatomy, what do we need to do to keep them actively working and functioning right now? So our hormones are running 24/7, and that affects this. That's going to affect how well our hair grows. Our diet is going to affect how well our hair grows because it's going to throw everything off. Also, heredity. I have a lot of people say to me, well, this ran in my family. My mother, my father, my brother, my sister, my auntie, my grandmother, they were bald. They had thinning hair issues. And that is exactly right. It can definitely hurt how well your hair grows. For men in particular, I will say true male and female pattern hair loss usually comes from someone that had a bad X or a bad Y. A bad X or a bad Y meant they were sensitive to their own DHT. DHT is involved in the hair growth cycle. It helps the follicle go from catagen to telogen, and it causes the hair follicle to be pushed up out of the bulb. And then the hair growth journey goes back to anagen, which is the estrone. So estrone, DHT, and testosterone are actively involved in the hair growth phase. Now, some of us, I'm going to answer those questions. Some of us are genetically sensitive to our own DHT. All of us produce DHT, which is why you guys need to stop using DHT blockers, because DHT is involved in the hair growth process. However, there are a targeted some who are in fact sensitive to their own DHT, which causes them to lose hair in the hair growth cycle. And then you see men that have that thinning hair pattern. If you're between the ages of 18 to 25 and you've already started thinning, you are in fact genetically sensitive to your own DHT. Now, men who start thinning in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, that comes from this. So it may reflect a hormonal pattern. You may see the hair starting to diffuse here in the middle, but if you have a strong hairline, that's not heredity. That's not male pattern baldness. That comes from this. That comes from your body losing its battle with the hormonal response to everything that we're giving it. Your stress, your insulin, all of that, your sugar and how you're eating and how you're living. But that's not true male and female pattern hair loss. If you're over 35 or 40 and you're just having this pattern here, but you have a strong hairline, that usually just comes from age and all of this. So I did want to just talk about authentic male and female pattern hair loss being indeed hereditary. So let me answer this question. Somebody sent me something. So Miss Vivian, you said that was the second part of my question. Your question was grow again. Okay. Help me understand what your question was though. You said that was the second part of your question. Said grow again. Let me know what the question was so I can answer it. So if you guys have any questions here, now that I'm reconnected, please let me know. So also your lifestyle. Your lifestyle includes this stuff here. Your lifestyle includes how are you drinking? How are you eating? How are you sleeping? How are you wearing your hair? Are you exposing your hair to a lot of chemicals and a lot of processes that are too tight? Are you snatching your hair back like Ariana Grande? I'm surprised she has any edges, because when your lifestyle includes you doing things to your hair and your scalp that aren't good for you, you will cause things like traction and thinner edges and a lack of hair in those areas. When you're visiting your dermatologist, not every diagnosis is traction alopecia. I do find that when a lot of people come to visit me, they'll say, oh, my dermatologist said that I have traction alopecia, but it's occurring on the top of your head and you have locks. Traction alopecia comes from tight, tense, tension-filled styles where you're doing a lot of tight activities and you're doing a lot of things that are causing you to lose hair in this area here. Traction alopecia usually comes with just a little bit of sparse hair around the hairline, and then you'll have areas where it is very, very thin, non-existent hair, and then you'll have just your regular hair. So traction alopecia has a certain look, but it is not, traction alopecia does not occur on the top of the scalp. Traction alopecia usually occurs around the rim here or the rim in the back because you're doing things that are causing tension. If you take a 5-pound bowling ball and you attach it to your tatas and you swing, your tatas eventually going to be down here. That is traction, that is tension. So I need you all to understand, when you are getting diagnoses from your dermatologist, it's not always traction when it's here in the scalp. When it's here at the top of the scalp, the frontal, the midsection, and the vertex, this is the hormonal zone. So if you learned anything today, I need you to understand that this is the hormonal zone. And when you're losing hair here, something is affecting the quality of your hormones. So analyze your lifestyle. You guys have to watch what it is that you're eating. There ain't no way in the world that you are ever going to have the hair of your dreams if your lifestyle leads you to be on GLP-1s, you're diabetic, you have high blood pressure, you're on statins and cholesterol medicine, and you think you're going to have great hair? Absolutely not. Your lifestyle will not allow you to have good hair for too long because something's got to give. Everything that you put into your body, 20% of it is going to hair, skin, and nails. 20% of anything that you're giving your body, hair, skin, and nails. So if you want beautiful hair, skin, and nails, the quality of everything you're putting in your body has to be on point. It has to be 100%. It can't be trans fat. It can't be fried foods. It can't be processed foods and pastas and breads and cereals and sugars that aren't good for you. It just will not. You have to eat whole foods, fruits, vegetables, and ain't nothing changed. Because if you wanted to work out, you wanted to get the body of your dreams, guess what? You got to change your diet. You can't outrun a bad diet. And as far as your hair is concerned, you can't outrun a bad diet. That bad diet is going to catch up with you because it is taking all of me as a 57-year-old to take my supplements every single day, to go to the gym every day, top of body one day, legs the next, glutes the day after that. Every other day I'm in the gym because I am a health professional and I have to watch what I eat. I can't eat fried foods. I can't eat all kinds of stuff that's not right for my blood type. I have to watch it myself. I have had lifelong kidney issues, as you can see from the edema in my face. I have to walk the walk and talk the talk every single day, and so do you. You have to watch what you're putting into your body. You have to make sure you're giving it what it needs. When clients come to me for a whole body scan, I analyze their blood work. I do what's called a BCA, a blood chemistry analysis, and for my beauty professionals, I teach you that in my training, to use scans, to use a blood chemistry analysis. Once I find out what your blood chemistry analysis says, that's what I'm giving you. So when you find out what your body needs, that's what you have to give it. You also have to supplement what your body is being drawn from when you're getting yourself on medications. If you're on GLP-1s, that's going to affect your digestion and your elimination. So you're going to have to give yourself digestive enzymes, give yourself pre and probiotic fiber. You're going to have to give yourself some liquid minerals because you're going to lose a lot of those minerals with the metformin and the GLP-1s and all the medications that you're on. So you guys have to analyze your lifestyle. It doesn't matter if your body is now well controlled because you're on the medication. The fact that you're on it at all means your lifestyle needs to change. You're going to have to think about maybe going to the gym to keep your insulin levels down. Think about changing your diet so that you can lose some weight naturally so that you can get off of the medication. Because if you want good hair, you have to look at yourself in a different light. Self-care. You have to make sure you stay away from a lot of stress. You're going to have to stay out of everyone else's business. Manage your own. Try to do your deep breathing, do your yoga, spend some time with yourself. But you can't get involved in everybody's mess. You have to take time for you. I deal with a lot of ladies and many ladies who are my age, maybe older, a little bit younger. They're taking care of kids that return home from college. They're taking care of grandkids. They're taking care of their spouse. They're taking care of everyone at work. They have deadlines. They have no time for themselves. They put themselves last. So when I say to them that certain things need to be done, it's a lot because they're taking care of everyone else. They can never rest. They can't relax because everyone else's needs come before theirs. You're going to have to shift that and find ways to take care of you. If you find spiritual things comfortable for you, then you're going to have to kind of help yourself spiritually. If going to the movies or going out with your girlfriends and having some good laughter is something that you need to adopt in your life, do that. If you can tell people no, put the phone down, you're going to have to do that because your lifestyle needs to change and more self-care needs to come into play. You're going to have to put yourself first so that we can help you get your hair back. So you have to understand you are important. Stress will increase the activity of everything in your body. If you are sick, the stress is going to amplify how sick you are and you're going to feel worse. If you are someone who stresses and is very sensitive to stress, you're going to have raised cortisol levels. Raised cortisol levels raise blood sugar. Blood sugar will raise good morning. Blood sugar will raise insulin. Then we're going to have this dynamic again. So that's why a lot of us have the problems with the top of our head, because we go through a lot of stress. That high cortisol is going to raise your insulin levels. And then in combination with everything that I just talked about earlier, it's not going to work. You're going to have to maybe just find ways to reduce your stress. If I know my clients personally, I talk to them about it, and then I'm always asking them about it every week, every month. How's this? How's that? How are you working this out? How are you dealing with that trauma? How are you dealing with the death of your loved one and your friend and your sister girl? I have heard it all. And what I do know is stress, when it activates that sympathetic nervous system, it's going to make your immune system worse. It's going to make your alopecia areata worse. It's going to make your lupus worse. It's going to make the pain in your body worse, because stress helps you release pro-inflammatory protein, pro-inflammatory cytokines. These cytokines release through the body everywhere. So now your body's hurting, your scalp's in pain, your arthritis is worse, your tendonitis is worse, your feet and your gout is worse, your IBS is worse, because of the stress dynamic and the cortisol and the inflammatory signals that are sent out from your body from the stress levels. So I have people that reach out and say all the time, oh, it's more easier said than done to reduce your stress. I understand that, but I am an educator and I'm here to just let you know that stress usually amplifies everything wrong in your body. So let me get here. So I just want to say thank you, King Von Does Hair. Thank you for joining me this morning. And Ira V, Veteran and Lifestyle, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the likes that I get on all of my my videos. I thank you so much for your support this morning. Sleep. Sleep is the body's immune system protection. You have to get sleep. Now let me tell you a little bit about how the brain works. The brain is like a muscle. It's just like the heart. It's just like, your quads and your biceps. Your brain is working all day long. It's swelling. It's taking in blood sugar. It's doing what it has to do to take care of you all day long. Eventually, you need to go to sleep. Melatonin is a hormone. When you all don't go to sleep, you want to keep your phones on your person. You want to keep your phone on your nightstand, so that if somebody call you in the middle of the night, you can rush out and get to the phone and do whatever it is you got to do. You need to turn your phone off. Ain't nothing you can do while you sleep. You need your beauty sleep. It's called beauty sleep for a reason. If you want to stay beautiful, get some sleep. Melatonin runs with your circadian rhythms. In the morning, we have our lowest of the lowest melatonin levels. Then as dusk and nightfall falls, our melatonin levels rise so that we can naturally go to sleep. If you are prolonging sleep, you're not getting any sleep, you're going to affect your hormones, and this can affect how well your hair grows. You have to get sleep. The hair follicle has immunity privilege from melatonin. When we affect our melatonin levels, we affect the follicle's immunity privilege. Now the follicle is open to getting sick because you're taking away its immunity protection, because you don't want to go to sleep. You want to keep the blue light working all night long on your nightstand. You want to sleep around Wi-Fi. You want to have all your Wi-Fi because all your alarms got to work and your TV got to work in the middle of the night. If you ain't going to be up in the middle of the night, the TV, everything need to be off. Turn that TV off, turn the phone off, put it in another room, because that kind of stuff is going to mess up your circadian rhythms. You need sleep. If you are one like me who only needs maybe 4 to 6 hours of sleep, you still need to sleep. If you're tired at 10 o'clock at night, go to bed, keep your room cool, go to sleep. Having a room cool allows you to sleep better. You need to go through all those levels of sleep. REM sleep, deep sleep, light sleep. You need to go through those periods all night long. You need to go to sleep because sleep is important to the hair growth cycle. So these are just some things that I wanted to share with you, but I want you all to understand that you need to think about why you are losing your hair and put all those things into consideration. When you need assistance and you need help, try to find a holistic practitioner like myself. I'm in New Jersey. I work virtually, so it doesn't matter if you are sitting here with me right now, or if you're an hour away, or if you're in another country. With the help of Zoom, with the help of WhatsApp, Google Meet, and Teams, I'm able to work with anyone across the country because I literally can send you a scan. I can ship you out a microscope. You use the microscope via the app. You send those photos to me. I send you all of the testing that you need. Bam, we're working on your needs from wherever you are. I am no easier on you if you're in Chicago and I'm in New Jersey than if you were sitting here in my person, because you pay me to offer you a service and I am going to deliver you results. If I see that you have follicles, then by Jeeves, we're going to get this hair back. If you start falling off, you don't return my text messages, you don't return my messages, you don't return my emails, you're not sending in your weekly diet, you're not sending me your pH levels, I will cut you off. You asked me to deliver you a service, and I'm going to deliver on that promise, and I'm going to help you get your hair back. If you're telling me that you are not willing to do something, it will not work. I am here as a certified trichologist and a holistic hair loss practitioner and an integrated functional medical specialist to help you. I also, as a practitioner, I teach and I train other beauty professionals how to do what I do. It is not hard. And I say, like Reese Witherspoon said in the movie, like that's hard? It's not hard. So we do not accept medical insurance for what it is that we do. I apologize. But you can, when you want to visit my establishment, my business, we do allow you to use care credit. You can use your HSA, you can use your FSA, because we are under the umbrella of health and wellness. 3-day session, 9 to 5, 3 days. You learn all of your treatments, all of your tools, all of your protocols, how to conduct a consultation, and you're learning all of this, and you get a handbook to take home so that when you have a client that's having an issue, you can pull out all of the pictures, all of the images, you can pull out all of your material and say, this is what I think we need to do. Based on my experience, this is what you need to do. But you have me to confer with at any time, even after the program is over. Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on TikTok, follow us on YouTube. We are here to serve your needs, and we're trying to put this literature out so that we can help others like you. If you have any questions, please let me know, because I'm going to go back to the platform to see if anyone asks any questions. But again, I'm covering today some of the reasons why we're losing our hair. Take an honest look at what it is you are exposing yourself to, what it is that you're doing to find out how you can work on your own hair. It starts with a deep look into your body's experience and treating your body right and analyzing how you are managing your health. So I'm everything out, and I just want to say thank you for joining me here on YouTube and on TikTok. And I'm going to go, and I want you guys to have a wonderful day on purpose. And thank you for spending your 8 a.m. morning with me. Y'all have a good day. Peace, love, and hair grease.